Welcome to How Not to Make Comics. I'm Nil Gravity, and today we're going to finish off Weight of Eternity. So if you haven't read the whole thing, you can go do that first. Otherwise, you'll get spoilers. Alright, and today our sponsor is me again. Shocking, I know. And it's for Cyberpunk's number 6. I don't think that was out last time you checked. It's got the best cover ever. I might have to make this into a poster because it's awesome. And the episode, or it's called Jailbirds for a reason. I don't want to give too much away, but it's pretty cool. All right, and bam. Okay, so this might look familiar. Since we're gonna do the whole series, I thought we'd do kind of a recap, and also instead of me being like, oh, I like this drawing or I like that drawing the whole time, we can talk about a few different things. So in the first episode, I was talking about some font that I used that got popular later. It's Papyrus. I did top justify the vowels, and I think that's still kind of a cool effect. I've seen other people do something similar though, so it's I don't know, does that make me basic? Something like that. Alright, so alright, as we can tell here, obviously I didn't design this for the Tarquin engine. So you can click on it, make it fill the screen. It ends up working out okay, at least here. Alright. Oh, the reason it zooms out is because he's pointing up, and then it refers you back to the building, and that lets you see the next panel. So it's kind of a clever interchange. The bad thing I did here is you're tempted to go to this panel where she's yelling instead of going here. That wasn't well planned, but... Alright, so here she is yelling at the fire guy. Boom. Alright. See here, I had to leave the whole page. It doesn't really read. I did okay with it considering what it's supposed to do. Yeah, so... Right. Some of these it zooms in, but I'm kind of going through this. Yeah, it's... Ooh, man, look at that. Yeah, that one... So, okay, the Tarquin engine, it zooms in squares, and I made all these panels that were tall as hell. And when you zoom out, you can't read the font worth of crap. It looks better than I remember. I know in the other ones I was complaining how bad it looked. Yeah, it definitely looks better than I remember it looking. Okay. Yeah, and then this doesn't work at all. It's totally... Yeah, I think the way you're supposed to do this is you click over here, and it's like focused on her finger, and then you can click out to read what's being said. So it's kind of interesting how it, like this moment, I don't know why that happened. It shouldn't have. Where I created emphasis by using the nature of the engine where it wasn't there before. That might be more applicable to I don't know, animation or something, or if you make an animatic based on your... I don't know. So, I doubt any people are going to be downloading the Tarquin engine, figuring out how to make it work. Oh, so I don't remember if I said this in the recording that went up or not, even though I rewatched them last time I recorded. So I was doing these little commentary tracks, and it's just sort of the nature of the Tarquin engine, because I didn't come up to do these originally. I just you know, it had a description in the beginning, and so that's why I put the commentary track in there, because I wanted to put something in there. Yeah, so here's the same comic again. That creates kind of an interesting effect, because where all those were separate patterns or panels before, it kind of reads as one line now. So I don't think I really have anything else particularly interesting to point out, because that this panel that I commented on before, I like the coloring. My coloring is even better now. Oh yeah, one thing in here. I noticed when I was kind of previewing this. Oh yeah, this is pretty crappy looking font. Anyways, back then, I didn't use multiply and some other stuff that I do now. I was using the burn tool. Yeah, so it definitely affected how the colors came out because of that. It's funny, some of these palette colors are definitely ones I would choose now too. I've tried to get work as a colorist before, and I've probably gotten closer to getting colorist jobs than I've gotten any other kind of comic book work. Oh yeah, see, this is the way it was supposed to look, where he gets wet and it's the makeup's running and making his face turn white. It's like a white guy underneath of some sort. We'll get into that. Alright. This one's going to be a long episode just because we're going to kind of blast through some more commentary tracks. Alright. Alright, and I don't know if I have anything. Oh yeah. Before... Okay, come on. There we go. So there's how I said the coloring was important because of the hickey. And then that slowly... And we now know that hickey is the leech bite. And that shows that the arrow cleared that out. I never pointed out in the actual comic, but his arrows are kind of special. And one thing that's cool about this character that I never got to, and there was going to be a few revivals of it, because like I said before, that I was going to do a chapter where I was going to do a book after this, and that, you know, I still kicked around the idea of it. But another idea I had for this book after is I was on the Comic Fury message boards. We were talking about doing a collaborative book together. Man, in one of the recordings I did for this, I talked about this, but anyways, we were gonna do a. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure that this made it in the first episode, but in the one where we were gonna have our characters make a superhero team, even though they're not all superheroes, Ektep was gonna be like the Hawkeye of the group, like sort of a. I don't remember if Arrow was out at the time or not, but you know, it was gonna be like Batman or Arrow in the show Arrow. Except now the kind of twist with Ektep is that he's got trick arrows, but they all have different enchantments on it, where most Arrow themed superheroes, they're all tech characters. So yeah, makes me want to do a revival with him just for that alone, because it is kind of interesting. But he has an arrow that heals and does damage, or it purifies, I should say. It doesn't necessarily heal. Oh, on this one, because the background was black, I had to figure out how to, for this black panel, if that makes sense. Oh, and it looks like I changed the order of some of the panels, maybe? But anyways, what I did, so if you can, as you can see here, to make the black panel stick out, I stuck the word balloon underneath it. So the whole black background becomes the first panel then. It's kind of a neat trick. There's the boobies in color. That's why you guys came back. This looks even better in color. A lot of my mistakes are less noticeable with color. Yeah, see, look at that burn. Burn tool. You can really see that. Oh yeah, her eyes are purple. Once again, another important plot point that's kind of lost by the virtue of the black and white stuff is that part of the reason he picks her is because she has purple eyes and he has purple eyes. So yeah, it was sort of a. Okay, I don't know why it's not zooming out. Okay, it should zoom out when you. Oh yeah. Anyways. Yeah, it should zoom out whenever you click out of a box. But anyways, This is, remember I said that there was a Milk Plow poster? That's why it says milk there. It's because the band was Milk Plow, so it's a milk and then plow down here. And I don't remember if I based this on a real poster, but I know I wanted something that looked sort of like a celebrity portrait poster. So that was the art that was in there. We talked about that before. Oh wait, that's why I can't see anything, because I zoomed way down there. Alright, some of that looks... I really shouldn't bother with this, but... Oh yeah, I wanted to look at how good of a coloring job I did on the tea. It looks pretty good. Her reflection in the tea, that looks nice. Alright, so let's go to the next one. There's a lot of these. Okay. Oh, I usually hid the start button behind, or I hid a gray box behind it because it's black on black. I think I changed the background color, but couldn't figure out how to change the color of the start button. I could change text color, but not that. So, this one, I couldn't figure out what to write in here. I might have been up on a deadline too, because I was doing these when I started releasing this in the Flash format, I was doing these basically weekly. So, so that indicates to me that this part wasn't made for Flash. Well, I know it wasn't, because see, these are the side formatted comics made to fit this. So. But what I did was, I decided to break the fourth wall and include the script. So, I don't remember all my reasons for this. Actually, I want to restart. Maybe it says in my commentary. What was this? Some kind of symbol. I was wondering what I had on that tapestry. And on the art, once upon a time it was some kind of abstract art. It looks like just a gray panel there. But it was like a swirling abstract art thing at one point. There's some more bad use of that burn tool. And I didn't know how to... I didn't lasso, so maybe I didn't know how to do that. There's his hickey. We talked about that before. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna restart this page to see if it... Okay. Yeah, so basically what I said. I should have read that out loud instead of being quiet. This is why I don't have a career in radio. Alright. Alright, commentary. So the commentary track almost kind of spoilery to some degree. I'm not sure how much of the section is working as serendipity and how much of it's becoming me more comfortable with the Tarquin engine. Oh yeah, so this page, wow, with the coloring, way less noticeable how... I can't believe how much better the perspective looks on here. I mean, it's still awful, but I had to, like, remember it was bad. I don't think I would have noticed that if I didn't already look at this stuff. Look at this. One thing I could have done to make the foreshortening even better is that as we got... values get more towards neutral as they get farther away, so the brights would be a little dimmer, and the darks would be slightly light... Anyways, the light would be slightly darker down here, so I could have done that to push the perspective some more, but I didn't think to do that. I don't think the lighting is very effective here. Yeah, some of this looks way better. Man, it's amazing what a difference color makes. Yeah, wow, a lot of my stuff. No, and I never did draw the buildings in the background. I mean, it looks better, but yeah, wow. Well, I'm feeling a lot better about... Maybe I am too hard on myself. Maybe people are right. Okay. Oh yeah, in here I put how I thought I had everything figured out of how many panels would fit into what. There was also a bandwidth issue at the time. And I didn't have internet at home, so I had to be able to fit everything onto a disc, and like a regular CD, and then be able to upload it. So some of these, even though I had it planned out how big to make them, the files were just way too big for the internet speeds we had then. Oh yeah, I remember this now. So, you know, as English speakers, we start at the top left and work our way to the right and then down. And here, I made the establishing panel down here. And we go up like smoke, because they're smoking. Those drinks look a lot better with color. I really like the way I did the fire there, even though all the values are kind of blending together. It still looks pretty good. But yeah, I purposely arranged the panels to look like smoke. So that's kind of clever. It's like a use for the Tarquin engine I didn't see. Here we can definitely see that those are boobs. You can see through that mesh shirt, even though it was obvious in the drawing. Alright, and she has blue hair because they're trendy here. Alright. And we also know that's another thing. When you mess with time... no, where is it? It's right there, okay. Alright, so one thing in comics is it's really common to have characters wear the same clothes all the time, but if you're going to be messing around with time, she's wearing the dress from earlier, not the shirt and jeans. So you kind of know when this took place based on what she's wearing. So, another little pro tip sliding in there. Okay. Alright, this is a... You can read the commentary tracks on your own if you want. Okay, so this one, we get into here, and then there's the big reveal. Oh wow, yeah, I put that shadow behind her. That looks way better too. That's nice. I think I still have whatever font this is. I use it for stuff like this. Someone's monstrous. Man, I was like, it's so funny, I was like so interested in eye color. So, when I wasn't doing panda eyes, I was doing all sorts of funky colors for eyes. Alright. Alright, so, the question is, did I design this for Tarquin Engine? Because this first panel is wide and perfectly fits in here. I think so. I think we'll see in every single one that there's a wide panel or a couple panels, but I purposely pasted out that way at some point. I thought it was interesting that I didn't use a regular, or that it blends in such, it makes the panel jagged. It's kind of a cool effect. Yeah, but it started, so it was kind of neat. And then I put the title in here instead of there. And it's called Loose Threads because there's all sorts of stuff that doesn't make sense. Oh yeah, I think this one actually, this is sort of a choose your own adventure. Because I did these, when you read it, it's weird. I don't know if it really makes sense, but oh wait, no, it's not a choose your own adventure. I was thinking I did that where you start here and then you could branch either way, but it's not. You go straight here and you go down. So it just doesn't make any. Yeah, I don't know. Because when you get down to here, you go, and then you go here, and then, where do I go now? Do you start here? Yeah, it's confusing. So I don't know what's going on there. Alright, I don't want to spend any more time on it. But it just shows how a different interface can change the reading experience. This one I kind of recycled art, so I'll show you what I mean. We start out where this is the bottom of that big drawing that I showed last time. And when you click on it, it shows where they're at in relation to everything else. So when you click here, you like go around. Oh, I remember how I did this. Okay. Oh yeah, and then for the coloring, alright, so what I would do is I would do an ink wash and add like one color, and then I would drop a multiply layer of a color on top. And so that's how I got this effect. And I tried doing it for Weight of Eternity, or not Weight of Eternity, Night on Ghost Island, and it didn't turn out very good, so I've been looking at coloring that book, and I did the cover in color, and it looks great, and all the internal art I'm not happy with, so I'm probably gonna paint on top of it and maybe try to correct it later. Anyways, so, oh wait, did I do my trick here? I was thinking that for the last panel, no, you have to click. On one of these I made it so you have to click on a panel, and when you do, it zooms all the way out. I don't remember which one though. So this, I actually feel like that almost looks a little clear. Oh yeah, this panel was awkward, so I had to like break it into 3 panels like that. Because that... maybe that was always the intention, I'm not sure. Alright. Okay, so here we go with the establishing shot. And then just regular Tarquin engine here. Oops, I totally missed. I forgot about this. The guy's laughing at him for getting kicked in the balls. Kind of funny. It's like, yep, you deserve that. Okay. And I believe we haven't seen this. Maybe, we'll see here. No, we haven't. Okay, so this is all new material. Alright, so we're all caught up. Alright, so this is where Glenn's greeting the crew who brought her in. The ghouls that can go out during the day, unlike him. Or can he? Oh yeah, that was one of the problems. Wherever there was, for some reason it would put this little box wherever I would hit return half the time or something. I'm not sure. That was one of my issues with the font that I had a problem with in Flash. Super annoying, I could never get rid of it. So anyways, so they're reporting in that they, and he's like, I shouldn't be up because it's daytime. You know, he's inside the house, so that's alright. So then we do a flashback of this earlier point. So this is the part we saw before, where he's saying, I wouldn't mind getting a taste of her again. And then the conversation continues, but we haven't seen this before. So it's kind of interesting how I use the 2 different styles to reflect that that's a flashback. Kind of a cool trick. Even though I didn't plan that, I just changed the style at one point in the book, and I was like, oh, I need to do a flashback, and I don't want to redraw it, so I'm gonna... But it's effective, I like that. So... They're kind of reflecting what's going on. His eyes are glowing red. What's up with that? The sun will be up soon, so they have to leave. And when they leave, there's the bathroom. Or there's the door that's kicked down. And then Ektep shows back up. And there's the bathroom door. He opens it. And inside, it's Glenn. So that's not the real Glenn. So when he got thrown off the building, he was replaced by and you know, when Saul ran back up the stairs, while he did that, he was being killed by the shapeshifter. I still love that panel. It looks fucking good. I love, yeah. It's like very 30 Days of Night-ish, so. Glimpses of future in my dreams. Okay. Kind of pretentious. Still do that. Still write pretentious sometimes. Oh, I had to make the font huge on this because it's in Papyrus. So this is where he's kind of... It's narrated from Ektep's point of view, so you kind of understand what his motivation is. There's a booby. Yeah, and then the script. kind of clarifying. Nice manipulative. I always like this transition. So he's reached for the ledge, grabs on, pulls himself up, and he's in the middle of a flashback. So he's fighting for a little while before he realizes that he's thinking of the wrong time zone. And then kind of showing flashbacks. So this goes back to where they're interrogating Sarah's friend. And then it turns out right after that happened, Ektep was behind them. So he knew what they were doing. Her dress is kind of see-through. Yeah. Okay. This is metaphoric here, where I don't remember if I got this idea at the time or not, or did I do this later? Gotta be funny, because they were talking about how... So I went to see the author of Prozac Nation, whose name I'm blanking on, and she was saying how in the movie version they have Christina Ricci naked in the beginning to show her vulnerability, and she was making fun of it. So it'd be really funny if I did this after that. It looks like I did, 2006. Yeah. Okay. Alright, hold on, I don't remember the whole reasoning for this. So, that's what she imagined being a prisoner would be like, but instead she's just sitting on the couch watching TV. They, like, have her locked in a... is it a romper room? Something like that. So, she's watching a thing about the JFK assassination. Okay, she's watching the TV. Then she looks because someone came in the room. And she's talking to someone. She's talking in a German accent. Man, I don't remember what... There's some significance to her watching stuff on the JFK assassination, but it was like a thing debunking the JFK assassination, because they were showing how if you wrapped a watermelon up with cellophane and shot it, it would shoot back like it did for Kennedy. I don't remember the exact... I'd have to reread this to figure out what I was at after. Oh wait, watch me flat out explain it. Okay. Oh, okay. He's saying that he shot Kennedy. Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, this is kind of funny, because as they're walking through the house, there's all these dead guards everywhere. Because he just, like, went through and murdered everybody. I swear, this was like a Netflix show before there were Netflix shows. Wow, that bar is pretty badass. Yeah, I was really trying to go for creating a sense of real space. I did pretty good on this. Some different kind of freaky masks here. Love this drawing. Oh yeah, this is funny because, like, at this time, all my drawings were starting to look like my girlfriend at the time, so it started changing how I drew women. It's kind of funny. This door worked really hard. Oh yeah, so here, remember earlier I said that Saul's name was alliteration? So this is why, because this is the whole reason I named him Saul. So he's walking through, he lets her out and he's talking to her. And he opens up the door. And he's about to say the sun is still down. And this one he realizes who he's really up against. The shapeshifter guy, he's got words on him. It's German. And the idea of it was that the reason he has to wear makeup is because he could shapeshift and match colors and stuff. But Ektep covered him in tattoos after he imitated him. And I never got around to that backstory, so maybe if I bring the characters back, we'll get into that, but... Wait. Click next? I don't know what I did there. Okay. Alright, yeah, so... not great at perspective, but I don't think it's that noticeable here. You can't see the ship here, which is important. It's a shame. Alright. Yeah, my environments look pretty good for what they are. So this is kind of a cool moment. So we're showing the ship, then we show under the ship, and there's all these little shrimp swimming around. Part of the reason I did that, that's a trick I got from Chris Bocciolo, because I always notice he draws little animals in the margins and stuff, and you know, it's kind of good to show life. So if I didn't do just a flat layer on these are bubbles, they should be lighter, but the way I was doing it, I didn't do that. So anyways, we're under the ship, it's all the water's all calm underneath, and then he comes splashing in. The shrimp are scurrying for their little shrimpy lives. There's some driftwood on the beach. Those are his footprints. It's kind of a cool way to show that an inhuman character's gone by, is to show their weird feet. And so this is why he's called Saul. He was thrown out the window. And he catches on fire. Doesn't sparkle. No sparkling. So then the outside guard notices him. Eventually. Yeah. Alright. Throws his coat over him because he's a gentleman. Alright. Yeah, and so then he says we got a problem because Saul was thrown out the window. And then that's when their sniper that they have on the roof all the time apparently notices Ektep showing up. So it's kind of cool that it's like a misdirect, because as the audience we know that the vampire creatures have two different foes around, but the villains think that it's all just one foe. Still, they think it's just Ektep walking around. So then here's my recap panels. That's another trick I started doing later. It's for doing the recap, and then oh yeah, that's kind of a cool. Oh, I like how I did that reveal. So you see that he's about to jump up behind him. So I mean, I like that drawing. It came out good. Yeah, yeah, see, that art style looks good when it's dark enough. Colored right. So he takes shots. Fills a bunch of holes. You notice Ektep's not in his cloak. Alright, there's a trick. And while those guys are there, because yeah, I like the idea of a sneaky bastard character. So, oh man, look at that word balloon. I mean, okay, I didn't point that out in the earlier ones. My hold on a second. Oh, I don't want to go back. Yeah, so these are closer to the right shape, but look how I placed that tail on that word balloon. That's just awful. I don't know how to fix that necessarily now, so. Alright. Oh yeah, one thing I like doing is gory, realistic violence, so. Yeah, those guys that went to go check on Ektep, the sniper's killed, now Ektep's the one sniping them. So, this guy's hiding over the edge of the cliff to keep from being shot. That's not as clear as I hoped it would be. Let's see if maybe it's clear in the next one. Because I didn't establish him shooting at them from the roof, as is sort of implied. So, yeah, so on the, here I saw that they used the word doppelganger. So when I was talking about the magic realism earlier, this character that's the shapeshifter. Oh wait, there's a big reveal coming out, so I'll talk about it then. Alright, so this is sort of like the queen of the vampires. Weird boxes everywhere. So this is where they're talking about how they think it's Ektep. So I changed the color. That's another trick I was doing. When I change from scene to scene, so all the scenes that she's in are red. And then all the scenes that Ektep are in are like a purple. Yeah. So he's shooting with his arrow. See, I didn't make it real clear that he was up on the roof shooting at those guys. So they got more guys coming. He holds his sword, his bow up. That's totally not clear that his bow turns into swords. Yeah, I didn't establish that very well. I love that panel. That's great. His tooth is coming out. Let's get the boot to the head. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I always felt like this really felt like you're fighting on a roof and people are falling down. Because standing on a roof, you know, you feel like you could go tumbling off at any time. Lops his head clear off. There's his satchel of arrows. That's a pretty solid panel. I like it. There's a good look at his side eyeball. That's one of the ways you can see people coming from the side. He also can feel vibrations through the ground, but I don't know if I ever say that in here. The guy pulls gun on him. Flips the sword up. Whips it at the dude's head. Did I show it land? I guess not. And he like flips over a dude. Oh, well, it obviously hit because there he is with a sword in his heart. And then the guy steals that sword. He's ready to fight him. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, it's funny because I always said, like, felt like I didn't have a style, and only in the last couple of years have I started to really be able to identify people that I've drawn. Okay, so this guy's back and he's got the dog now. Look at that grr. Reflection in the sunglasses, that's kind of a cool trick. Alright, so the dog is confirming everybody's identity. So that's how they're getting around the shapeshifter. It's important. So it's red because it's all from the vampire's point of view. She's going up in her helicopter. So they got the important person off site. And they're going to try to kill Ektep and Sarah. So... But as the helicopter flies up, a tentacle wraps around it. Dun dun dun. Alright. So back to this fight. I love the body language here. It reminds me of a movie, but I can't really think of which one, where he's just like frustrated as fuck. And I think I stole that from something. Alright, so here's the big fight. Oh yeah, this is great. So he sees that there's leeches coming from behind. It's great. He tries to bite one of them. That's great. And then he reaches back. He grabs that one by the leech. And he fucking throws him. So yeah, having a long tongue wouldn't be great. Yeah, there's some use in his peripheral eyes. Yeah, so like one of the things about Ektep is he's got eyes like a deer and a human. So he's got the binocular and he's got the peripheral vision. I should have made the pupils different on that one though. Should have made it like a goat. I didn't know about that at the time, that goats and stuff had different pupils. Okay. There he is with his two thumbs. Way before Avengers had that two-thumbed guy. I knew koalas had two thumbs on each hand, so I wanted to put that for my character. Okay, jumps off the roof, leaves the sword behind. He breaks the swords because he knows otherwise the swords are going to come back and he's going to be stabbed with them later. I like to make... It's kind of a cheat when you have to make your characters dumb. So I try to think about what every character would do in the situation. So nobody's making any dumb actions. Oh, look at that horrible tangent. The letter is touching the edge of the box. That's bad. So we can see that the dog is like kind of hanging from there. And there's the reveal. He's a squid, and so, you know, so the squid uses its natural. Basically, the idea of it is that the krakens and doppelgangers are like the same thing in this. So, because, like I said, I wanted magical realism, so I was like, well, what animal would, you know, a natural shapeshifter, and so it's kind of like a magically evolved version of a squid. So here's where he's talking, morphs into the big squid. So now she's having a discussion with the squid. Normal comic stuff. And here I go doing the flashback with the same art. This time I made it imitate the style, which is kind of a weird choice. So explaining, exposition. Wow, I used a lot of panels here. Okay. So all this turned out to be over. She wanted a wish ring, basically. Oh yeah, and this is where he says Aktep's the one who tattooed me. So I did explain it. I did do a drawing years later. I did 365 magic cards one year. I designed a magic card every, and I did one called like Kraken's Treasure or something, and I drew a white squid getting a treasure box into the sea, and it was kind of inspired by this because he's got a box full of treasure at the bottom of the ocean. That's why the vampires have been after him. So that plot thread is resolved. Here's another fight. It's pink because it's from Sarah's point of view, and her hair is pink. She's hiding under the car. He looks under the car, doesn't see her. She's scooched out and is behind the wheel. Alright, so he's gonna go up the ladder to see where she is. And while he's doing that, she slips out. He's got to climb down the ladder to get her, so he's way behind his friend. So, man, I really thought about the time on that. So that they, oh yeah, I figured with all these people living here, they'd have a garage full of vehicles. Oh yeah, I like how I put the camera up here too. That's nice. Okay, next. Alright, so flashback to her slipping away. She's standing there with the garden hose. So that's where she runs out. He says, hey, he goes chasing after her. Alright. Don't worry about that garden hose laying around that someone forgot to put away. Yanks a taut. Drops his weapon. Alright. And then she also grabbed an axe while she was in the tool shed. So, yeah, I was planning on bringing this guy back later because he has the big fucking Joker smile. Look at that shit. Yeah, I'm not a... See, like, I think of myself as a pacifist now. And, so I'm really, like... I really want to show violence as being horrible. Like, it really bothers me in a lot of media that people will get into fights and stuff. Like, you know, there could never be a Batman because anybody who took that many punches to the head would not be right after a while, you know? He would not be the world's greatest detective after too many hits. So, yeah, I like to try to show violence for the awfulness that it is. She's kind of reflecting on it. For a second it looked like she was pointing the gun at herself, but that was him picking up the gun. So she drops the hatchet. I don't remember what happened. I haven't looked at this in years now. He's gonna execute her. And oh, Aktep grabs him by the lip. Okay, that's how I resolved that. Oh, I forgot to close Discord apparently, because it's still beeping. Alright, next. Alright, so he's whisking her away. We're almost at the end here. This is his valley that he lives in. It's a cool place. I still have a lot of ideas about what's going on there. He's now explaining how his power works. Oh, I wrote this, that he's cutting off the circulation in her hand because he's got 2 thumbs. His hands are strong, so... She says it's better, but creepier. Yeah, geez, my drawings kind of turned to shit on here. I mean, it looks nice kind of compositionally and stuff, but it's stylistically, it's kind of a mess. So it's like the little castle he built that he lives in. So So she's looking around, and she's like laughing. See, he tried to, because he wants her to live there, and the way he tried to convince her is show her that there's unicorns on his property. And they're woolly rhinos. And at the time, I thought this was some brilliant shit, but then, like, soon after this, Richard Starking comes out with a book about mutant rhinos and calls it unicorn. And then I've seen a million memes since, so. But I was ahead of the curve on that to some degree. I mean, other than the actual historical basis of, unicorns were probably people seeing rhinoceros, and then, people playing telephone made them into horses later, so. But at the time, I didn't see anybody else say that. So, and here the implication is, and I know it's rapey, but this guy's not supposed to be a good guy, he's supposed to be an asshole, is that he's telling her it's a choice to stay there, but if she doesn't, he's gonna kill her. So, yeah, and I believe that is all of Weight of Eternity. See? Oh, what's this? Yep, that's all of it. That is it. Finito. So, yeah, I hope that it was helpful for you to go along this trip down memory lane with me and look at some of my mistakes and check out the series. In here, I was dabbing with a dry brush. That's how I did they're supposed to be in the ethereal realm. I think it just looks like he's running through the forest, though. I don't know if that effect works. But, yeah, so that is it for Weight of Eternity. You join me next time where we'll go through another one of my old series. If anybody actually watches this before I record the next one, why don't you give me some feedback? Because I'm debating if I should do my old 24-hour comics next, or if I should do... Ooh, you know what? I should do the 24-hour comics next because I did Longtooth. So, yeah. Forget it. I don't care what your opinion is. We're doing my 24-hour comics next. So, that'll be a good one. And then I can talk about a theme again, which I did in the first episode, so that's good. Alright, and so until next time.